Hi, can everybody hear us now? Hopefully, let me check with somebody. Can you hear us now? I'm so sorry that you guys. Okay, I think you can hear us now. That's what my aunt said. She's on here with us. Okay. So let me start over. I am Anna Tallman. Have been with Cruise Holidays for 7 years, and since I started with Cruise Holidays, Alaska has been way up at the top of my bucket list. And next year is the year. I am so excited. I'm taking a group with me. We already have 13 people traveling. I think we're going to have a great time. As you know, the more the merrier. So I'm excited to have Cathy Larson with Holland America here with me tonight. She was going to grace us with her presence in Adrian a couple months ago, but that event didn't work out because of everything going on with the lockdown. So now here we are. We're so excited. I'm so excited to travel to Alaska with friends and family and other people. Next year, it's just going to be a great time. So without further ado, I have Cathy Larson. She's going to talk all about this itinerary and the trip and things to do and some great promotions that Holland America has. So thank you guys for your patience. I appreciate it. Let me switch you over to Cathy. Oh, wait, Cathy, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Thank you,
Okay,
Anna.
I don't see your screen, but I may have to click through this for you. Hang on.
Let me see. Did it just change?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Do you have control?
Okay. I think I just kept control. So anyway.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm Cathy Larson with Holland America. I'm very happy to be with you all this evening. Thank you for being there with us while we had a little bit of technical difficulty there. But I've been with Holland America for 20 years. I've been to Alaska over 30 times, and it's one of my absolute favorite places on the planet. So I'm happy to be here to talk to you about it tonight. I want to tell you some of the reasons why we think you should go to Alaska with Holland America and with Anna. And I'm going to start with talking about Holland America. We've earned lots of accolades and awards over the years. I kind of flipped through that one. And then we also have been going to Alaska, showing people the great state for longer than it's actually been a state, for more than 70 years. So we've got tons of experience up there, and we have lots of things that differentiate us, and I'll tell you about a few of those. Our ships are mid-sized. We say perfectly sized for Alaska. They're not the big mega ships, but they are big enough to have lots of great amenities on board, and we do a lot of things that are special in Alaska, and we have a lot of advantages because we have been in Alaska for so long. We have more permits to Glacier Bay and Hubbard Glacier and the places that you need permits to go to see some of the great sites. Holland America can take you there. We have great wraparound teak decks on all of our ships that completely circle the ship. So even if you have your own private balcony, you might want to be on a different side. You might want to be at the front or the back. We have lots of great spaces to be out and see what you've come to Alaska to see. This picture that you're looking at right now is one of our open bows. Most cruise lines don't allow you to go out onto the bow of the ship, but we open those up for viewing, particularly when we're in great places like Glacier Bay and Hubbard Glacier. For glacier viewing, you can get really up close and personal. And with our smaller size ships, we can get a little bit closer to the glaciers as well. So we also have prime locations where we dock in Juneau and Ketchikan, so that you're closer to what you've come to see, and you don't have to take shuttles and walk long distances to get into town. So that's just a short overview of some of the things that Holland America does, but I want to talk about the itinerary specifically that Anna has selected. And it's called the Alaskan Explorer Itinerary, and it's a round trip from Seattle, Washington, and it will be departing on May 30th on the MS Osterdam, and it's a 7-night cruise. So you can see the itinerary there, and I'm just going to take you through the featured destinations on this cruise. So Juneau, Ketchikan, Hubbard Glacier, Sitka, and there's one more that I don't have pictured here, and that's Victoria in British Columbia. So starting in the first day, you'll be cruising. You'll cruise up to the Stevens Passage and then into Juneau. So it's one day at sea, and then you cruise into Juneau on day 2. And I said a little bit earlier that we dock really close to downtown. So this picture, you can see the sidewalks and kind of a little park off to the left of the ship. You cross that park and one street, and you are right here in downtown on the main street of Juneau. Juneau, Alaska is the state capital, of course, and it is a fairly unique state capital in that it's only one of two that you can't drive to. You can only get there by ship or by plane. And there are lots and lots of things to do in Juneau. So many great shore excursions and activities. It's probably my favorite port city for shore excursions because there's just such a great variety and all of them are fantastic. A lot of times when people ask me about what they should do when they're in specific ports or when they're in Juneau, Juneau, I usually say if you are into whales and you would like to get up close and more personal to some whales and sea whales from a smaller excursion boat, then Juneau is the place to do that because all around Juneau are whale breeding and feeding grounds, and there's just an abundance of whales and marine wildlife. So if that is on your list, that's one of the things that you might want to do. There's also lots of helicopter tours where you can land on glaciers, salmon bakes and gold panning, hiking, kayaking. There's all kinds of things. We always say from mild to wild. So no matter how adventurous you are, or if you don't want something that's too crazy, there's something for everybody. So I'm just going to click through a few pictures here. Whale watching, it's not unusual to see this or even multiple whales. I think all of our whale watching excursions come with a guarantee that you will get your money back if they don't see whales. And in all my time of going to Alaska, I've never heard of anybody getting their money back. So they always find them somewhere. Also, Mendenhall Glacier is right there. It comes in right in by the city of Juneau. It's very close. We actually have a biking tour that you can bike out there. I've done that one before, but most people choose to take a motor coach out there. And there's a picture of Mendenhall Glacier. You can hike up the side of it. It's a very easy hike up to a waterfall that's really beautiful. There's a visitor center there. You can also do helicopter tours that will actually let you land and get out and walk on Mendenhall Glacier. And those are spectacular. You can just do the land and walk around a little bit. We have ones where you can rappel down the side of the glacier. So like I say, mild to wild, there's all kinds of different options. One of my favorite excursions in Juneau is Taku Lodge, and you see a picture of it there. It starts with a float plane flight seeing tour over Mendenhall Glacier, and then it lands right across the street from Taku Glacier, and you go into this beautiful, what was once a hunting lodge, and now they've made it into a really cute lodge that you go in and you have a salmon bake lunch, and then you fly back to the ship again on your float plane. There's also Glacier Gardens in Juneau, and you can go to some beautiful gardens there. There's hikes and trails. There's just all kinds of things to do in Juneau. And you do usually have a fairly long stay there where you leave later in the evening. The next thing that you will do is cruise to Hubbard Glacier. And it is in Yakutat Bay, and it is in a national park. So we will have a national park ranger on board to tell you about the glacier and the movement of the glacier and some of the marine wildlife as you're cruising in. Hubbard is the longest tidewater glacier in North America. I think the face of it's over, I can't remember, 6 or 9 miles long, but it's a big glacier. And it's unusual in that it is still advancing, which means that it's still moving forward. A lot of the glaciers in Alaska are starting to be retreating glaciers, or they're melting faster than the ice is pushing forward, so they're not still advancing. But Hubbard Glacier is still an advancing glacier, which is great because that means that as it pushes into the water, it does tend to have more calving, and that's where the big chunks of ice fall off the front of it, and it's really spectacular when that happens. It sounds like a crack of thunder. You hear it before you see it, and then all of a sudden a big chunk of ice slides off into the water, and sometimes it creates its own wake. They're so big. So Hubbard Glacier is a day that you will really enjoy. Just beautiful scenic day. The ship does get fairly close, but we also offer a smaller excursion boat that you can get on right from the ship and cruise even closer to the face of Hubbard Glacier. I did that last time I was there, and that's where I actually took this shot. This is a shot that I took, not one of our stock photos, and it was just a magnificent day, and I would highly recommend that smaller excursion boat when you're in when you go to Hubbard Glacier and you're in Yakutat Bay. This is another shot that I took of the Oosterdam, the ship that you will take, and that's when we were on the small excursion boat. And so I got a picture of Hubbard there to the right and the Oosterdam to the left. But you can see it does get fairly close to the face of the glacier. And so that was from my excursion. So the next day you will sail into Sitka, and Sitka is a really interesting, unique little town. You'll see right away the Russian influence. It was the capital of Alaska when it was owned by Russia. It still has the onion-shaped domes of St. Michael's Cathedral and some historic things like the Russian bishop's house, and which is a national landmark. There's also a lot of wildlife there. There is a place called Fortress of the Bear where you can go see bears. There's the Alaska Raptor Center that you can get up close to eagles and birds of prey that they have found that were injured that they bring there to rehabilitate. And some of them that aren't able to be released back into the wild just live at the Raptor Center full time. But again, here's the Oosterdam sitting at dock in Sitka. It's a beautiful area. Some of the things that you can do, sea life and sea otter and wildlife quest is one of my favorite excursions there. Lots again of nature trails. You can do the Russian American tour and see the Russian dancers. You can go to the Raptor Center, do a rainforest walk. There's a pedal and pub crawl. It's one of those things that you pedal like a bicycle and a bunch of people sit on it, and then you go to different pubs around town. There are food and wine tours there too. If you're interested in the food of Sitka, you could try out one of those. But here's a picture of the Sea Otter and Wildlife Quest, or well, actually one of the otters. But the otters up there, they all hang out together sometimes in what they call a raft. So they'll hang on to seaweed and they'll all be in one big group floating around. So they look like a raft, and that's where it's got its name of a raft of otters. But great marine wildlife up there, and I can guarantee you, you'll see otters if you go on that particular tour. There's also Historic Sitka, which kind of gives you the history of Sitka, and it includes a performance of the new Archangel Dancers that you see pictured there. And then I'm going to show you this picture, and this was from an excursion that I took, and it was called the Wildlife Quest and Finn Island Lodge. Now, another tip about Sitka is get up early when you're cruising in. You're cruising in a whole archipelago of islands, and it's an area where you're likely to see whales. So you can get some free whale watching from the ship. I would highly encourage you to get up early, even if it's 6 o'clock or something when you're coming in, because that's a great time to see whales. And all of those little islands are beautiful. So it's really scenic cruising coming in. So it's too bad to sleep through all of that and miss it. So again, get up early. But one of the little islands that's right in front of Ketchikan is Finn Island, and there is a lodge on there. And what they do is they take you on a small excursion boat, and you do some really beautiful scenic cruising around around Sitka. And then they take you over to this lodge, and they give you this magnificent lunch of king crab legs, salmon, prime rib, and then sides. and it's as much as you can eat. And then when you're finished, there's a fire outside. You go sit around the fire, just walk around the grounds. And if you want, you can make s'mores at the little fireside. And that's what I did. And it was a really, really great shore excursion that was about 4 hours long. So just the right amount of time, but it was really great. So those are some of the things you can do in Sitka. The next port will be Ketchikan. And again, Holland America normally docks right in front of the city. So it's just, you know, really you cross a boardwalk and you're at the shops and the downtown area. So this is a view, I don't know if it's from the ship or from a drone or something, but it's kind of looking down at the edge of Ketchikan. And then this is Creek Street. And Creek Street is a place where almost everybody goes. It's an easy, probably 4-block walk from the ship. And it was the red light district in Ketchikan early on when in the 1900s when they were looking for gold and all of that. But now it is all shops and restaurants. It also has Dolly's House Museum, which was one of the brothels that was there, made into a museum. So it's a really cute area, and you'll find lots of great shops and artists and things there. So that's something that you'll want to take the time to do. You don't have to do it with a shore excursion. You can just walk over there. And then here's my other tip for Ketchikan, and that is Ketchikandies. I love this place. This isn't on any tour. This is just my personal. If you like candy, you have to go to Ketchikandies because they have great chocolates and they're handmade there. And find that it's again, it's 3 blocks away from the ship or something. It's not too far, an easy walk. But here's some of the shore excursions you can do in Ketchikan. Again, you can do more whale watching, flight seeing. Probably my favorite here is the Misty Fjords flight seeing. Also very popular is the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show, and it's very close to the ship. You can go fishing, salmon fishing, halibut, all kinds of different fishing that you can do there. Saxman Native Village is a very popular tour as well, where you can see totem poles from the area. I've done a crab excursion there. I always do the food ones. It was all you can eat crab. I didn't actually do the fisherman part of it, but anyway, there's also a rainforest sanctuary and eagle sanctuary there. So here's a picture of flying into Misty Fjords by float plane. Just a beautiful, pristine area. If you don't like small planes, you can also do this on a small excursion boat. So if you'd rather boat in, you can do that. And I've actually done this where I took the boat in and flew back, or you can do that in the reverse, or you can take the boat both ways. But Misty Fjords is really a beautiful area, and I'd highly encourage you to think about doing that in Ketchikan. And then here's just a picture of some of the totems in Saxman Native Village, and sometimes that is combined with the Lumberjack Show. And then fishing tours. So these guys were fishing for halibut, but they also have salmon fishing tours, and as you saw earlier, the crab fishing excursion was available too. So lots of great things to do in Ketchikan. Sometimes the duration there is a little shorter than I would like. It's usually 5 to 6 hours that you're there, sometimes 7, but usually it's more of a half day in Ketchikan than a full day. But it's a beautiful little town and easy to walk around. If you decide you don't want to do excursion and you just want to go to Creek Street and Ketchikandies, you can easily do that on your own and check out all the shops. And then your last port on your way home will be Victoria, British Columbia. And again, this is a shorter day. You don't get in there till the evening, and you stay till fairly late, 10 or 11 o'clock at night. But Victoria is a really beautiful town, and it very British influence. You'll notice that right away. This is the, oh, I forgot the name of the hotel. Sorry, it'll come to me. But anyway, it's known for having high tea there. It's a really beautiful hotel. And off to the left of this is kind of the downtown area. This is sort of the pier area where the some of the boats can come in and the ferries and things come into this area. But we have several different tours around Victoria, but probably the most popular is Bouchard Gardens. And that is a huge garden that takes about probably 45 minutes to an hour to get there on a motor coach, but it's well worth it. It's lit in the evening. So even if it's, at the time you're there, there'll be lots of daylight. So it shouldn't get dark before you leave, but it is lit in case it does start to get to be dusk in the evening. And if you like gardens at all, this is just magnificent. I've never seen anything like it. And they do several. There's one that is just the gardens. There's one that you stay later in the evening and they do fireworks at night with the garden. So you stay pretty much to the last minute before the ship leaves. So you have plenty of time. I mean, they know you're with the ship, so they don't leave you, but you stay a little bit later so it can get a little bit dark for the fireworks. And there's one that also includes butterfly garden as well with Bouchard. So there's that. There's just kind of a highlights tour if you don't want to go out to the gardens and you just want to stay around the downtown area. There's also Victoria by Horse-Drawn Trolley, which is kind of fun. Craft beer and breweries. There's a excursion that does that. And there's also a culinary walk. So we offer a lot of tours that have to do with food and wine because we find a lot of our guests are interested in that kind of thing. So we partner with Food and Wine Magazine to offer culinary tours, and you'll see those listed in the selection of tours that we offer. So I've gone through all the ports and what you're going to do. Then after Victoria, you cruise on down to Seattle, and that is the cruise end. But I wanted to tell you about some of the really great program that we have on right now. And it's called Cruise Save Now and Cruise Later, or the Have It All sale. And this, in all of my time at Holland America, is probably the richest promotion that I've ever seen. So it's a great time to be looking at booking your cruise for next year, because if you book before the end of July, you will receive free drinks, our signature beverage package, which allows you to have up to 15 drinks per person per day, which is usually enough for most people, but anyway, it's a great package that normally runs $50 per person per day, and that's included. It also would include free gratuities. So we do post gratuities to your onboard account every day for each person that's in the room, and it varies depending on what kind of cabin accommodations that you have, but those would be covered as well. And also a free signature dining package. And we offer alternate dining rooms on board our ships. We have several, but this dining package includes the Pinnacle Grill and one night in there for everybody in the cabin, and one night in Canaletto, which is our Italian restaurant, which also has a small upcharge. So you get both of those complimentary. You would not have to pay the additional charge for those. And all of that's included, along with 50% reduced deposit for bookings that are made within, like I say, about the next 6 weeks. If you book into any category that is classified as a suite, you would also receive free Wi-Fi, okay? So great added value for you on this cruise. And all you have to do is book while this promotion is on. So it's easy to do. Contact Anna and she could set everything up for you. So I hope I've piqued your interest in this Alaska cruise, and I'm sure Anna would be lots of fun to cruise with, and I would love to join her as well, and everybody who's going. But here's her contact information. You probably have it already, but there's her phone number and her email. And Anna, I'm going to turn it over to you. And I've been talking, so I don't know if anybody's put in any questions or chat, but if there is, I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you so much, Cathy. Well, you've piqued my interest all over again. I hear these Alaska seminars several times a year, and I learned more things tonight. You know, I've been doing this for 7 years, so I'm so excited all over again. I cannot wait to take this group with me to Alaska. It's going to be a wonderful time. I don't see any questions, but like it shows up on the screen, you can call me tomorrow or feel free to email me. I know some people on this page follow me on Facebook. Feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. I'm happy to help. I'm so excited that you guys were able to join us this evening, so thank you so much, and thank you, Cathy, for putting together this this wonderful presentation. May 2021 can't come soon enough. So I hope that you all have a great evening, and please get back with me if you need anything else.
I just have one thing to add. If you have any friends or family that could not listen tonight or you think might be interested, I believe Anna did tape this, and she could send you a link if they would like to go back and listen to the presentation. You just have to contact her. She could send that to you.
Yes, we will. And I will also post that to my Facebook page tomorrow. Nicole will get it all together, the recording, and then I'll share that, or I can send it to you in an email too. So. All righty. Well, have a nice evening, everyone. Thanks again, Cathy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.